I'm in a little bit of a different scenery for today because today is a little bit different of a video. This is not my watch. I wish it was my watch. I've had this watch on my wrist for 1 week, and this is a week on the wrist with a Rolex Explorer. This isn't gonna be like the most professional week on the wrist video that you've ever seen, but I was fortunate enough to have my friend who this is his watch let me wear it for a week, and I have developed some thoughts on this watch. Long story short, this watch is insane, and I've kind of already talked about a lot of the stuff in the review, so in this video specifically, I'm going to be talking about a few specific things, and I also wanted to show some strap options on this watch because 19mm is not the most ideal lug width, but that's what it has. But I know a company that makes really good straps, and they happen to make them in 19mm. All right, so I'm not gonna talk about like super specific specifications about this watch. The only stuff that you really need to know about this watch that affects the wearing and how this watch functions on a week basis. It's 36mm, it's stainless steel, it's automatic, it's time only, it has a black dial, and the most important thing is that on my wrist, this is the most perfect watch I have ever held and ever worn in my life. I'll get into that in a second. I have 6.5-inch wrists, and if you look at this watch on my 6.5-inch wrist, in my opinion, it fits perfectly. It actually, I don't think, could fit any better. This bracelet tapers from 19mm down to 14mm at the clasp, which is, to my knowledge, the most aggressive tapering bracelet on a Rolex sports model in their current catalog. That makes this watch wear just a little bit smaller than an Oyster Perpetual 36, and also I'd say a little bit smaller than a Datejust 36, but only by a hair. They do, however, make this watch in a 40mm case size, but in my opinion, I think the 40mm, no offense to anyone who has it, it's a great watch. I just think the proportions are not awesome. Whereas on this watch, the proportions are perfect. Wearing this watch pretty much all day, every day for a week, I looked at this watch a lot. I definitely looked at this watch more than I did to tell the time. And there's just not one thing bad that I can say about this watch. I said it in my previous video that I think this is a perfect watch and that I have no gripes with it. Spending a whole entire week with it, I still feel the exact same way. For me personally, I cannot pick one thing about this watch that I think is bad or wrong or that they should change. I used to think that I wanted it to have a matte black dial, but I think if it had a matte black dial, it wouldn't be what it is. I love the Mercedes hands, they're polished, and the Chromalight loom is actually kind of insanely how good it is. And that was not a good English sentence. But the loom glows a cyan blue color, and it lasts for seemingly forever. Add a glossy black dial into the mixture, and you get the most legible and the most readable watch that I think exists. Something about the triangle and the 3, 6, and the 9, the juxtaposition between that shape and the numbers mixed with the Mercedes hands, I can't describe it scientifically, but it is just so insanely legible and so easy to tell the time. The Explorer is, of course, the most, I guess, kind of under the radar Rolex that they currently offer in their catalog. And the legibility adds, in my opinion, to the tool factor of this watch. The other thing that kind of blew my mind in this watch was the accuracy of this watch. From Rolex out of the factory, the movement in this watch is the Rolex caliber 3230. It's COSC certified, it is superlative chronometer certified, and it has 70 hours of power reserve. This watch was on my wrist every single day, so I didn't really need or get to test the power reserve. But the accuracy, let me tell you, I don't know how they do it, but I'm popping up on the screen right now a video that was taken today, Friday. At the time that you're seeing it, it was about 6:30, 6:35. Comparing it to my iPhone, which is atomic time, which is like perfect time, you can see that is the deviation in 1 week's time on the wrist. I don't know how Rolex makes a watch so damn accurate, but when a watch is as accurate as a quartz watch is, that to me just does things to my weird monkey brain that it just fascinates me, and this watch is crazy and insane. There's not enough good things that I can say about this watch. The finishing is really good. The clasp is extremely comfortable. That's actually another point that I want to talk about. In comparison to my Tudor Black Bay Pro, I can wear this watch for a week straight without even taking it off of my wrist, and it doesn't I don't even notice it on my wrist. And the reason for that is because of the polished part of the clasp. I call it like the bulbous part of the clasp. Whereas on a Tudor, it is just a perfectly flat piece of stainless steel, and it actually has a little hole in it to cut out the shape for how the mechanism works. But if I wear my Tudor for too long, it starts to kind of hurt and I can feel it on my wrist. The Rolex, however, I have not had one discomfort in wearing it for an entire week. I got to take this watch on a hike. I wore it all around, doing literally whatever I was doing throughout the week. I did not do anything crazy in it because it is not my watch, but I did wear it like I would wear any of my other watches. And this is the first time that I have genuinely felt that I could sell all of my watches and have a one watch collection and it be this and me not regret it. For me, there is just something about the Explorer. I don't know what it is. And spending an entire week with it doesn't really help my cause for trying to save money and be better with money and my current desire to own a Rolex. I currently do not have one, and if I were to get one, my current debate is between the Datejust 36 Wimbledon, fluted on Jubilee, and of course the Explorer. There is just something about this watch that is so insane to me. If you get the chance and you're in your local AD or maybe a gray dealer has one, try it on and just see what you think about it. Maybe you're a hater of the Explorer, maybe you don't quite understand the Explorer, but I would say give it a shot. I kinda liked it from the second that I tried it on in my AD, but after spending a week with it, I think I finally understand why some people are just so in love with the Explorer. I'm filming this obviously in a different location, so the lighting has kind of been adjusting and going crazy, so I apologize for that. Now I want to show you some awesome strap options from a company called Artem Straps. I've been wearing pretty consistently on some of my watches the Artem HydroFlex strap, and it is genuinely the most comfortable strap that I have ever worn in my life. When I told Artem that I wanted to make a video on the Rolex Explorer and some strap options, they sent me a few options to try out. I'm gonna show you a few of my favorites, being the Bond NATO strap on the Explorer. Looks super clean, super awesome. And this is actually a very, very high quality NATO strap. This is my first time having a nylon NATO strap. Most of the ones I get are the ribbed nylon ones, but the placement of the catchers I have not seen on a NATO strap before, and it fixes the annoyances of other NATO straps that I don't like. On the 6 o'clock side of the strap, the part of the catcher that says Artem on most other NATO straps is usually a lot closer to the watch. And in my opinion, I don't like the way that looks. On Artem, it's a lot closer to the bottom of your wrist, so when you're looking at the watch head on, you don't even really notice that part of the catcher. I did unfortunately come into a little bit of a problem, and I don't believe that this problem is an Artem Straps problem. I think it's a Rolex problem. The case and the spring bar are so close together. I'm guessing it has something to do with how Rolex's bracelet, the lug, something with how the bracelet attaches to the watch, but it is extremely non-NATO friendly. And I don't think it's Artem's fault. I think if it was an even thinner strap, you could maybe squeeze it in and fit it in like a normal NATO. Rolex just has a really weird case design where the spring bars and the case don't really allow a lot of space in between the two. And so maybe if you had curved spring bars or you could do something about that, I would personally feel a little bit more safe about having my watch on that strap. But for that reason, I'm a little bit hesitant to wear it as it sits right now. My current favorite option is this beige sand colored Artem HydroFlex strap. The HydroFlex strap is waterproof, it's flexible, it's comfortable, and it has quick release spring bars. So changing them out and doing different color combinations, color options, which I do on my other watches, it makes it really easy to do that. And just look at it here on this strap. I think it looks fantastic. For me personally, the Rolex Explorer I think needs to be and stay on a bracelet. It is, however, extremely versatile, and I think damn near any strap will look good on it. But for me personally, if this were my watch, it would live on a bracelet, because that's just how, for me, this watch has to be. And a week on the wrist, I just want to keep it. It's getting dark. The lighting hopefully has not been all over the place and all crazy. But thank you for watching this week on the wrist video. I hope to do more of these week on the wrist videos. It kind of scratches my itch a little bit of not just impulse buying a watch, so that's a good thing. And it's a good thing for you because you get to see new watch content. Again, thank you for watching this video. I don't have enough good things to say about this watch. It is just perfect. I also hope that the audio was good. And thanks for watching. Goodbye.